Alright folks, welcome back to For Johan. Our Europa League Final at Lyon, in Lyon, starts now. We are favourites, as it turns out. Our form is excellent, but unlike the teams we've faced recently, Lyon's is strong. You can see Lyon, if I can find a way of clicking on Lyon. There we go. I actually haven't got the French League loaded, but we know they haven't won it because the current holders, actually, no, they might have won it, we just don't know. So we don't actually know how good they've been. But let's take a look at how they got here. That was worth doing. So they knocked out Arsenal, they've knocked out Sporting and Plazen, who we beat to reach the Champions League. They also beat PAOK, and their group contained San Sebastian, that's Sociedad, Zult, Wagarim, and Maribor. So all in all, I'd say they've done well to beat Arsenal, but otherwise they've had a fairly easy run to the final. I think we've had a more challenging route to reach this stage. You can see they're obviously knocked out of the Champions League, but then we've beaten Basel, Nice, Milan and Bilbao. So I think we've had a harder run of it, albeit Arsenal obviously are a very nice proposition for anyone. So they've done well to beat them. Team-wise, we're at full strength. We've kept training on the low intensity just this last week. We didn't want to pick up a knock. We're going to go with what we know. Amin Gouiri is out because he signed from Lyon and he's played in the Europa League earlier on, so he can't play and he wouldn't play anyway. He's not fit. So I'll see you pitch side for this vital game. The last one of the five. Will it be the one where we fall short? I'll see you in just a moment. So there's our teams. Our team we know, but the Lyon team is an interesting read. Let's be honest. They're strong throughout the pitch. You'll notice central midfielder Klaus-Jan Huntelaar. Of course, we sold it or released him to Lyon from his contract. We sold him on a free. And they've got Kenny Tete as well. So there's a few former Ajax players, if not stars, in their side, including some real strong players. Stambouli, Yanga Mbiwa, Sturaro, Raphael. Of course, a lot of players that would be familiar to Premier League fans with Bertrand Traoré and Memphis on the left side as well. They've also got Fekir and Mariano up front, so they're going to be strong. And it really is, and that's not a great team talk from the assistant. Should have done it myself. It's not a great talk, but hopefully we can win. Now, anyone who watched my Pushing the Potters save knows that we had 3 European finals, 1 Europa League and 2 Champions League finals during my time with Stoke, and we've lost all of them. So this can only be as bad as that. Hopefully it is not going to be a repeat. We're playing on the away system purely because we are away at Lyon, effectively, because Lyon are at home in this game. They're the home team. It's in their stadium, so yeah. That'd be nice, that, wouldn't it, to play? Although Bayern Munich probably didn't feel the effect of that when they played to Chelsea in the Champions League. Yunus crosses in, nobody there though, and Mapau will get it away. Mariano with support down the left side. That's a good tackle. Delict though. Can we do something here? Verba, who continues in defence despite his antics in that last league game that almost seemed to cost us a title. Dolberg. It's a good strike, but it's well turned down by Lopez. Corner ball for Ajax. Probably nothing will come from it, given that was a decent attempt. Never swings it in anyway. And De Ligt did get the header on goal, but it was well positioned. Quite comfortable save from Lopez. It's not been a dull opening 8 minutes as we come forward again. Here's Dykes. That's a questionable ball, seeing as he had an option out left, but he was trying to switch the play, which is the system. Traoré crosses, and it's off the bar and away from a corner. Oh, breathe. As you can see the Ajax following. If that's fairly sizable. I don't know really. I mean, again, I'd have to look at teams that have played European or major finals in their own stadiums. What happens to, they have to give up half their seats to the away support, effectively. It should always be a neutral ground. I know you can't make that decision in Europe because you've moved the final. You don't know who's going to make it. Anyway, Van der Beek clattered away. There's chances coming for both teams. They've gone closest, having hit the bar. Schürrle's free kick gone towards that far stick, but Traoré chases and win his own header away. That's a bit poor, really. We should have been there, but we managed to recover the ball through De Jong, and it goes to Yunus, to Van der Beek, to De Jong. That's Ben. It's poor passing And I think it's Lyon's ability to pressurise the ball. Fekir and well tipped over by Onana. Pretty central to him, but he had to make the save. Fekir will take the resulting corner. Far side crossed in. Oh, and, well, I mean, it seemed to fall at Mariano's feet, but Onana was straight down onto it, thankfully for us. And somehow Mariano has got all the space in the world to deliver a ball to the far stick. And it goes deep. Traore, it's bubbling about everywhere. There's lots of these going on. I think both sides are a little bit, what's the opposite of composed? Whatever that is. Uncomposed, decomposed. Are we decomposing? That's the question. Is there a card here? You'll know when I know. There is. Verba gets a yellow card. And, Kasper Dolberg goes off injured in the worst possible time it could be at the European final, and we lose our main goal scorer. He's been absolutely fantastic for us, and now he goes off. I think what we'll do is we'll probably bring on Ziyech and play him in the hole behind De Jong. It's not ideal, and there's probably people thinking, why aren't you playing Nouri? But some people have made this comment that Nouri is actually playing in that position for Ajax in real life. This is a final. Ziyech's one of our better players. He's probably a little bit unfortunate not to be anywhere near the... Well, he is near the pitch because he's on it, but not to be starting our big games. So we're going to get him on and see if he can make the difference for us after all of his time away injured. That fell nicely. It was a decent strike, but again, we keep seeing deflections. It's such a big loss, Dolberg. He's just such a... We've seen him so many times. His ability to turn the ball. He's not just a goal scorer, but he's also a creator of goals. He's got such a smart movement on the pitch. I don't know what the injury is. I was trying to have a quick browse there, but I didn't get to see. And every time now, you just feel that it's going to be Lyon, and Huntelaar lashes one wide. Interesting that he's playing in the middle of the pitch. And here's Memphis Depay. That's not a bad effort. I feel like we're playing on extended, but we're really not. Every time I go to click an injury, it just doesn't allow it. Lyon get the ball back from a free kick, but we recover it through Veltman. What can you do, son? That's not bad. Ziyech. Sim de Jong is not really a striker, but he's pretty decent at playing that attacking role, so we're going to stick with him. If we need to change it, we've got Kluivert on the bench. It's not ideal, but he's got pedigree. Let's be honest, the name Kluivert is Ziyech. A little bit loose on the ball. Van der Beek needs to play the pass. We need to play it. Oh, I mean, bit of luck. Oh, I thought it was going in, Eunice. It just seemed to keep rising as the... Let's see if we can see it. And Sim de Jong will now pick the potential groin injury. Well, they keep de Jong on there until half-time. He's not had a great game. And we'll take him off at the half because of that knock. And it just seems that everyone who's playing centre-forward for us seems to be picking up a knock at this stage. And into added on time in the first half. Free kick given to Memphis. And, that was troubling Onana. That should be half-time. Indeed, it is. It's quite an eventful half. Not really huge amounts of goal-scoring action. So we'll tell the players now just if I can click the right buttons. There's more to come from them. And let's get into tactics because I want to get De Jong off. And I think it's going to happen. Well, I mean, it can only really be... We could play Neres up front. I mean, how does he suit the role? Not well. But then Kluivert doesn't either, really. But it's going to be Kluivert, and we'll hope that he can make the difference for us in place of De Jong. It's a little bit disappointing, a little bit underwhelming, I suppose, to lose Dolberg. You know, he's been ever present for us, really. He's missed a few weeks here and there with injury, but nothing substantial, and now he picks up a big knock that takes him straight off in a European final, our first and only European final. This save will discontinue. It might become a stream save, so do keep an eye out for when we stream, either maybe on Twitch or YouTube. But this will be the last game of the save in terms of videos that go up, in terms of for Johan. It'll become something completely different, likelihood. And 52 minutes played, Memphis has the ball, he's tackled and it falls to Fekir. They're just moving the ball a lot better than we are, but we're forcing them into range shots and they're not really troubling us. They've had the odd one. You can see they've had 10 shots and only one on target, and that's another injury. Eunice now, another key man injured. I don't know if Lyon are playing aggressively or if our lack of physical training this week is just now costing us. We'll have to bring on Nouri and we're going to play Ziyech on the left side. That seems to be the best option. So now we're down to no subs. 2 big injuries. David Neres, a potential foot injury, so that could be a broken foot. All in all, 25 minutes to go. It's been a little bit disappointing. Dykes now picks up an injury. I really don't know what's going on. This is a lot of injuries to be picking up in a final when we were all 100% conditioning pre-game. So I don't quite know if Lyon are playing aggressively. They don't seem to be. If they are, the referee isn't noticing. And Lyon break through. Bertrand Traore slots one under Nana and they take the lead. There's very little we can do with these injuries that we've picked up. If anything, it's even worse feeling than having a player sent off just because you're losing. It's basically the game is surgically removing our best players. That lucky break from Verba, and it's a decent finish at his near post. Difficult to know what to do, given I don't think we've been bad. I think we'll pause and change to the attacking system or the normal system, but it's probably only going to get worse. I can't take Dykes off, so he'll have to stay out there, and we'll tell the lads to get creative. It's only their second shot on target. It was a poor goal, really, for us to concede. Lucky deflection. And again, it's 11 fouls to 13, 14, and we're the ones with the cards and the injuries that we've picked up. We've had to remove two of our best players. That's, I think, Neves, or rather, I can't even remember his name. Younes scored 10 goals. Dolberg scored 30, so that's 40 goals missing. That's just goals, assist-wise between them as well. Obviously, there'll be a lot more, so we're missing a key outlet. And it looks as though our disastrous run in European finals across my YouTube saves will continue as Lyon finally pick up a card. It's going to be a disappointing way to finish the series, but it's not bad. A European final with, and there's Neres, he probably should have done better. A European final with Ajax, given the start we had to the season, it's not bad at all. We've pushed Lyon all the way in their own backyard, and they've had to resort to dirty fouling tactics to stop us. And here comes Traore, a good save from Manana. I thought he was going to put an unconvincing layer of gloss on the proceedings, and you can tell I'm a little bit deflated by it. It would have been nice to us to not only just win it, but at least be able to play our best team. But injuries have just cost us. We didn't really have a chance with the players that we've now ended up missing from the team. And it is Lyon's trophy. Fair play to them. There they are celebrating. I don't think they deserve it. I think they managed to keep their best players on the pitch. That's the only difference. We could have kicked them off the park, but we didn't. Never mind. Lots of confetti again, they can hoover it up. You see there, we had the most chances, and look at that. That's absurd, really, isn't it? 2 major injuries. We'll hope we're not playing on, really, but we'll hope that they're not heavily injured, as you'd always hope. Let's have a look. So Younes pulled his ankle ligaments and Dolberg pulled his groin. There's nothing we could do about that. We prepared the team in terms of fitness. Everyone went in 100% conditioning. It's just unlucky. It really was an unfortunate set of circumstances that led to us probably losing that. Good amount of money coming into the coffers, though. We don't know what our budgets are for next year. That's always going to be very interesting. We'll have a look on here. You can see there it's 14.9 at the moment, but they've not actually told us what it's going to be. I think they were probably waiting to see if we won that competition. It may be that we lose the job as well. The board are assessing it, and we only had 2 games to assess. So it's going to be interesting to see if we manage to keep the job, because we've only won one of the games. We lost to Lyon. We didn't deserve to lose to Lyon, in my opinion. I think we were the better team on the night. And we would have won the game if we'd had our best players available. But never mind at all. I'm just going to run through a couple of these updates, because these are... we've got a lot, so let's have a look at these. Okay, so Europa League Player of the Season goes to David Neres. That's an encouraging sign. David Neres. You can see David Neres is a class act, and he's slowly becoming one of the better players in this team. Now, I disregarded him at the start, and that's why he's only played 18 league games. Had I noticed how good he was, he would have played a lot more. Dolberg wins our Player of the Season, and you can see, 40% of the vote, that's a huge amount, and it really is a case that had he stayed on the pitch against Lyon, things could have been different. And there's your season review. Now, if you look at this, we were 15th after, I think that's 11 or 12 games. So to then, out of a 34-game season, so you were a third of the way through the season, to then win the competition, albeit on the last day, but to win that competition was quite something. A low points total. When you think as well, we looked in episode 0, the preview episode, Ajax finished second in real life in 2016, 2017, and they did, though, on 81 points. So to win the title on 64 shows quite a drop-off. Just shows that the league's become quite competitive, which is encouraging for the Dutch league, but not what we'd expect. I expect as if we stay with this team, if we do another season, perhaps on the old streaming, then we'll see that we'll start to push on and pick up wins, more so than we did last season. We lost 10 games. I'd expect us to lose no more than really 4, 5, 6. Yeah. But you see that managerial support has gone for him. It was really low, but it's now good. Players are enjoying playing for us, and that's going to have another significant boost. I mean, it's easy to do these when you're a team like Ajax, because we're going to do it all again next season and we're going to win the league. I mean, there's nothing else really that the players for Ajax can ever really be happy with. So there it is then, the board allowing me to stay. They're impressed with the support for my management of the club. I tell you, if they'd done it in October, November time, it wouldn't have even been asked. They're only going to judge us now. It's in a position to operate in the transfer market, and they're going to upgrade the youth facilities as well. So that's important for Ajax. Obviously, we build our success on our youth. Okay, so there's our sponsorship deals. We're up £9.5 million this year as opposed to 8.25. So that's slightly higher than it was. The new scouting budgets, I don't know if that's actually up on what it was last year. That'd be interesting to note. I should know that, but I don't. And the initial budgets, okay, so 550,000 and 14 million. So it's not a huge increase. Yeah, so I mean, what have we got? 166,000 in the wage budget, 14 million to spend in the transfer budget. It's not a huge amount. The board that come in was basically the same directors, so it's not a huge amount to operate with. But we've got substantial money in the kitties in terms of the club is very healthy, and Champions League again obviously is going to keep boosting. So if we maintain Champions League year after year, those budgets will go up. I'm certain of that. And I think that probably draws us to a close. That sets us where we are. Should we continue? When we continue, maybe I say. But that is the beta for Ajax. That's our beta. We are going to go into the release of FM18 with a clean slate. It'll be a brand new save, full large database, lots of countries loaded. There'll be a preview video coming very soon to the channel. If it isn't already out, they might overlap with the end of this and the start of the new. So keep an eye out for that. If you have watched and enjoyed this series, thank you very much for being part of the ride. Do pop likes on there for me and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I've enjoyed interacting with quite a few Dutch followers who I know have interacted, and it really is quite excellent. It's lovable, really. It's fantastic to be tapping into that and getting an understanding from people who know much more about Dutch football than I do, probably more about football in general than I do. Some of those people who've mentioned that, have a look through the comments on previous videos if you would. They've done a far better job than I have with Ajax, and I think in the end we got there. We got there for Johan. We probably could have done a little bit better, but injuries just told at that last game. We stepped one step short of getting a European trophy into the bag, but not bad. A league and a title, a cup double, and a European final. Not bad for a first season. I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.